Hey guys, welcome to Approach the Nerd and our Arcane spoiler review. I am Maria Park and my daughter Mai.
Who has awakened the Ancient One? I'm too old for this.
Hello. So anyway, we are here to talk about the epicness that is the animated cinematic masterpiece on Netflix by Riot Games called Arcane. Now, disclaimer, I have never played League of Legends, but my daughter here has been playing League of Legends for years. I mean, to the point where if I called her to do the dishes, she was like, I can't come, Mom, they're going to ban me from the server. So like anybody in my life who would have the most knowledge about League of Legends would be this child right here. So welcome to the channel, Mai.
I feel like I'm being called out here on several
You're being
things.
called out in all of the ways.
Do I need to just go?
No, anyway. So let's talk about what actually is League of Legends. So explain first of all what League of Legends is.
Okay, so League of Legends is a salt mine. Hold on, let me be more professional about this. League of Legends is a MOBA game, which is a multiplayer online battle arena game, where essentially you, and depending on your game mode, up to 4 other people hate yourselves as you go to play into a battlefield on 2 different sides. Your goal is to take the enemy's towers, kill them with impunity, and inevitably blow through their base and destroy their nexus to win the game. Now, League of Legends used to have a very different lore to it than it does currently. The champions that you see on Arcane did not exist in its original form and fashion, of course. They were released much later. And their original thing was they were a kind of like they were supposed to be almost like a self-insert kind of game. You played as a summoner, and you would summon champions onto the battlefield in order to fight for wars and in order to solve different political issues and events. But unfortunately, the writers of that kind of got a little bit too fan-fiction-y and started doing some weird stuff like writing in their own self-inserts and dating the champions. It got really weird. So
they were dating the champions.
No, we're not going into that. But there's a long story. It's But that was all got retconned because they ended up getting a writer from Blizzard to come and actually help them out with making an actual proper storyline that didn't become self-insert land. We don't have fanfiction.net anymore. So there's that. Now, the current League of Legends meta is essentially everything sucks. Everyone's at war with each other. Welcome to the show. And Arcane in particular is focusing on the cities of Zaun and Piltover, which are actually 2 different trading cities. They are very important cross-line that connects 3 different continents of Runeterra, Valorant, and Shurima. Now, Piltover and Zaun, they have issues. This is the most reasonable form of social hierarchy you can get. And by reasonable, I mean unreasonable. So we have the Piltoverians, who are the very classic Renaissance-esque mixed with magic style, the rich people.
Utopian.
Like if you ever played We Happy Few, kind of like that, in terms of how they dress and how they act. Everything's great. Everything's fabulous. Peachy keen. Then you have your Zaunites, who are your street rats,
they're us during the COVID pandemic.
Nah, we're doing better than they are, let's be honest.
Depends if Uber Eats is delivering.
Do you breathe in toxic fumes on a daily basis?
Probably. Hey, we don't know what's in our house.
I don't know. What's your opinion? Anyways. Zaun is where a lot of the mad scientists, quote unquote, come from. This includes champions such as Dr. Mundo, who you've not seen yet, Jinx, who one of the main focuses. Vi was born there, Echo was born there, and Singed, the man that you've seen experimenting on the Rio, the giant pink axolotl, and others. He's from there. Victor was a student, and there's a whole slew of people. Zaun's a hot mess.
Zaun is awesome.
Zaun is awesome, but Zaun's a hot mess.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about Arcane. So Arcane, again, I effing loved it. I kind of wish that this was kind of the story mode that a lot of other properties that I'm into follows, because I've been watching a lot of series like Yashahime, stuff on Arrowverse, stuff on Peacock, like a lot of varying different shows. And I've always noticed that the way they tell stories is so either lackluster or they try and do too much to try and sway you away from what's actually happening. And in Arcane, they successfully do that, but they do it in 9 episodes, and you're not left feeling like, oh, I expected this, or oh, you're just trying to throw all this filler shit in so that I won't know what's happening. And I felt like it flowed extremely well. So I think this is very good writing, very good storytelling, and the voice acting was on point. We have Haley Steinfeld, who played Vi. We had Katie Long, if you remember her, as Cho Chang from Harry Potter. She was Caitlin. Now I love Vi and I love Caitlin. My little queer heart, I can't help it. I'm not sure if your queer heart was having issues, but mine was.
I was too busy trying to see what they were doing in the story. I've been waiting since 2013 for this. like these champions were released in 2013.
Gotcha. I gotcha. Well, one of my favorite standouts of this entire thing was Reed Shannon as Echo. Echo in this, and I know that I don't even think do they call him Echo? I don't know if they call him, but later on in the series.
No, he's Echo.
But there's a fight scene that happens between him and Jinx that is just,
you're just a sucker for hoverboard.
The entire scene itself, from him throwing down the watch, like the music, the choreography of this, animated scene. Oh my God. That.
And also, to address another question I saw from Yudo, the plot got convoluted because there are like 8 different regions of Runeterra, not mentioning the Void, which is essentially spawn hell.
There's a lot going on.
There is so much going on. You would have to sit down, deep dive it, write an essay on it, fail it, and then write 2 more in order to try and start getting the plot.
Yep, and to be fair, Arcane is actually set before League of Legends begins. It's a prequel to League of Legends, so that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, so like I said, I loved everything about it. I loved the fact that we got to see what was going on with so many different people from different aspects. So you got to see what it was like to be in Pillover. You got to see what it was like to be in Zon. You got to see everybody's perspective, which is something you don't see in today's social climate. So
we're still missing some champions, so it should be there.
Yeah, we are missing. I'm sure that since they've already greenlit season 2,
and
they already did a season 2 announcement.
Everybody, it's confirmed.
Yep. So we already know we're going to have season 2. But let's break down some of the characters. So we have Jace. Jace starts off as a young boy who him and his mother got saved by what looked like a sorcerer.
People think that might be Rise.
People think it's Rise?
Rise is essentially your Uncle Good Guy who went, magic's dangerous, and went, oh God, there's a lot of bad world-destroying artifacts in the world. I should go get those and hide them because everyone's gonna mess with them and blow us up. So that's his whole job. He's just going around collecting.
And that's not an invalid point. But when Jace saw this, Jace lost his ever-loving mind and he saved his mom, but he became super obsessed with magic. He became absolutely obsessed with magic. So when they started experimenting and he discovered those, what were the balls called again?
Hex tech.
Gemstones. That's what I'm thinking, gemstones, because he makes hex tech out of it. He basically, it's supposed to be a fusion between magic and technology, because when you look at Pillover, it's supposed to be like the Tomorrow City, or the City of Progress, basically.
City of Progress, except for Zon, we go backwards.
Yep. I mean, obviously they didn't watch Tomorrowland, but anyway, so Jace he starts off very noble. He wants to help people. Like, he's making tech, like the gloves that he makes were for actual miners, the ones that Vi ends up with. Yeah. So I really loved. And I'm seeing your comments, guys. We'll get to it in a second. I really love that Jace starts out, and actually, technically, he doesn't even end the series with bad
He's
intentions.
not there yet.
He's not there yet. Yeah, he's not where
the problem is that Mel, the councilwoman that he was
having romantic relationship,
playing Jangle with,
playing Jangle.
She initially was only with him because she was in it for the money, because she's the poorest heir. Because oh my God, it's such a first world problem. Oh my God, I'm so rich, but I'm not as rich as the rest of my family. Now
in the actual series, they kind of humanize her a little bit more, where she actually seems to care about Jace. So
she starts caring about him after being with him, because initially, let's be honest, she was with him for the dollars, and then realized, oh no, you're a good person. I think I'm catching feelings. Somebody give me some medicine.
But I mean, now to be fair, when you meet Mel's mother and Bisa, I understand why she is the way she is. That scene Where Mbisa, like when Mela's
the bathroom
little,
scene?
no,
No,
when
don't.
she's little and she's talking about, I could give you the kingdom, but you have to prove that you want it. And there's like a young girl from the old ways, and Mel's like, no, we should just strip her of all of her wealth or all of her belongings, and then basically exile her. And her mom literally just decapitates her. I mean, I'm like, holy shit.
Listen. Ambessa acts like a pimp and talks like a sweet old grandma. There's no in between on it, but she made it work.
I mean, I'm telling you, Ambessa, is that how you say it? Ambessa. I literally can't stand this character, but at the same time, she's very powerful, so you have to respect it. Like she's respectable garbage. That's what I call her.
She knows the power she has, and she flaunts it in the most potentially despicable of ways. But she does in the fashion. It's like, that's a woman you can tell has been through a lot. And I think that's what molded her.
Well, I mean, she even shows up and she's like, your brother's dead. I wasn't looking. I had my guard down, and I had to protect my family. And I'm like, wow, it's just the way she says it, like her child is dead. Yeah, this one's gone. And my bad.
That woman is a savage.
She's savage, yeah. She is savage. But, back to Jace. I like that Jace, at least in season 1, managed to keep his goal of making everything better, like making people's lives better, being progressive, trying to help mankind, even though technically speaking, now to be fair, he doesn't know what's going on below Pillover. He doesn't understand what's happening in the Undercity.
No.
But
none of the nice nobles know what goes on in
Dawn. Because they don't go there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just it. They don't go there.
Yep.
I mean, if you equate that to today, it's not like the executive staff, the politicians and all that spend time in the hood. That's not what happens. So they don't understand how bad it is down there. And so when he's making all these plans, to be fair, it's only to benefit Pullover. It's not to benefit Zahn or anybody else at all. So it's like a willful ignorance. He's not educating himself on what's actually happening. Now, what I find interesting about this is that his partner, who I swear he has bromance vibes with,
Victor,
is Victor.
No, let's capitalize on that. Let's capitalize on them trying to sneak into Heimerdinger's lab and Victor going, "Oh, this isn't my bedroom."
Yeah, that is something that he said.
Let's also look at Jay sleeps with Mel the morning after. Not even a note left. Not breakfast made. Nothing. He's gone. She's like, "Oh, he's just a snobbish man." Finds out,
Victor needed me.
My homeboy class. He's not doing too high. I had to go to the hospital. Just make him gay.
I mean, seriously, I'm not gonna lie, they had the vibes.
A champion that's literally amalgamated out of two
I will tell you, Arcane had so many gay vibes, it's not even funny. And I know that we're queer, so like it's really hard for us to not see it. But I mean, Vi and Caitlyn, I'm pretty sure already
they've
did
been
it.
alluding to that one. Unfortunately for Victor and Jace, they actually do hate each other in the game, so it's sad.
Well, they do now, and I'm pretty sure they're leading up to that, because at the end of this, Victor asked him to destroy all the hex tech, right? And so he said he'd do it. And I think because of what Jinx does, by firing into the council room, I have a feeling that's going to cause some animosity, because Jace, if he does survive, is going to probably say, oh no, I tried to make things better. I was going to make, we were going to make the underworld, like the Undercity was going to be completely, independent. They had already voted to make him independent. And then Jinx went and did that. And so now it's like, so we try to help you and this is how you repay us. And I think that's going to make Jace crazy.
We're gonna go down that line, but there's a lot. There's a lot. Jace is right now. He's still in his good guy phase. Now,
he's in his. I want to make the world a better place.
But don't worry, he at least, even if that council room gets blown up, he and Victor have to survive, because due to continuity, he has plot armor thicker than this mic.
That's saying a lot. So let's talk about Victor for a second. So Victor, the point I was making earlier is the reason I don't get why Jace doesn't understand how bad it is, in the Undercity, is because he's friends with Victor, and Victor is literally from the Undercity. There's even a line in the episode, near the end of the season, where he's like, Jace is like, you can't trust them. And he's like, I'm from the Undercity. And it's like, and Jace was like, oh, no, I didn't mean you.
Oh, no, baby,
not you.
baby, you close to my heart. You're different.
Not you. But Victor has a terminal illness from, I guess, inhaling toxic fumes.
He was Singe's assistant, and while assisting him when he was younger, he ended up inhaling them, and it started deteriorating his health like over the years, like pretty bad.
Yeah.
Like so, by the time you see him, he's pretty much a cripple. He got that crip walk with a cane.
Yeah, he was handicapped.
Yeah.
And he like is trying to figure out how to save his life, and you can see that Victor is teetering to the dark side too, because he's starting to think more like the professor Singe.
Because of Heimerdinger. Heimerdinger is a Yordle. Now, long story short, Yordles are little magical gremlins that have extremely long lifespans and do weird magical stuff. And the people...
They're cute like Moogles.
But people don't trust them because Yordles are weird. And they're like, oh god, xenophobia.
Yeah, pretty much. But Moogles are like, well, I actually
they're fuzzy. With. And the reason why they can get away in being society very often now, I don't know if Heimerdinger's doing this or not. It's actually a mentioned thing as a passive effect that they have. They usually have glamours over them that make them look like they're different people, like actual humans. And that's how they can usually go around in society without being noticed.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't know he could change himself to look human. Because
we will perceive him as Heimerdinger, but other people may not be perceiving him as Heimerdinger. They might be perceiving him as a human.
Okay, I don't think he used that when he was walking around though, trying to help people in the
There's a chance that there's not, because I don't.
It's interesting.
With Heimerdinger, it's hard to tell because they didn't really like point out whether or not he was doing it or not. So it's ambiguous to whether they included that.
I don't think. Yeah, the way how I perceived it, he looked like himself.
Fuzzy bean.
But he was also the founder of the city and the council. So, and I think it's really messed up that Jace did backstab him and yeet him out of his position.
But then again,
it's time for you to be retired.
That's true. But I think technically Jace is in favor because that means the Donger was not there for the explosion.
True. He wasn't there.
Thank you for getting me off that council table.
That's very true. So let's go back to so we talked about Victor and one of the saddest scenes. There are a lot of sad scenes in this. One of the saddest scenes was Sky. Sky is somebody who I believe assisted him.
That's his childhood friend and his assistant. And she was in love with him.
And she was in love with him. And she was like working up the nerve to come do like this presentation on something she's been working on.
Which would actually become what he is later on because he keeps the notes.
Yeah. And she walks into the room and what is he doing? He's holding his hand.
He's holding his, the hand that got injected with Shimmer against the Hex Tech Crystal because he's trying to invoke a response from it to try and see if it can
because it can affect organic.
It specifically reacts to organic,
and so she sees that and she like freaks out and she runs toward him. And unfortunately, the hex crystal is like, "Hey, you're fully organic. That's what we think happened."
Hey,
and then just like literally disintegrated her body.
The thing also is, we think also maybe due to the runes that he had carved onto his body. The runes made the sentient, because that thing's sentient. I don't care what anyone says. That thing is sentient, and that might be from the void. That might be a void-born object. And recognized the runes and went, okay, we remake you. But she didn't have any protection, no shimmer, no extra body parts. She had nothing. So he went, it just you're material.
Yep, just yanked her and used her as material. Yeah. Yep. It's like the worst DIY project ever. Like DIY project. Human life. But then that's what made Victor decide he wanted to destroy it because he lost his, because you could tell he was into her too.
Yeah.
So that's sad.
But we probably should start from the episode, from episode 1 onwards. Have you done review for episode 1 onwards?
No, we're going to talk about, because I just want to talk about the characters and then we can go through the plot. So we talked about Victor. Let's talk about Vander.
Oh, Vander, you.
So Vander, he's one of the characters you see in the very first episode of this season, and it's when Vi and Powder, which is Jinx's original name. Now, first of all, I have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Why did her parents name her Powder? Is that a nickname or does she have an actual name? Why do we have Vi and then we have Powder?
Dawn.
So I should have named you Syrup. I mean, what's up with that? Anyway, so I literally had questions about that. But anyway, so we had Powder and Vi as children, and then the enforcers came and their parents end up getting killed because I guess they were protesting / having a revolt against the upper city, or basically pull over and they're like, we want rights, we want to have rights, we are human too, we're here, and we're also part of this city.
And that began the trauma conga line.
Yeah, and so that's when Vi basically started to hate enforcers, and at the time Powder wasn't that bad.
She had issues.
She was traumatized. She had PTSD, but she was not like she was.
And she also had hints of borderline personality disorder.
Yeah. And so then we're, basically introduced to them when they're teenagers. Well, technically teenagers. I think Vi was 16, maybe.
A little bit younger than that when Vander took her in. A little bit younger.
No, I mean when they when they fast forward and we have them, I think
16.
she was around 16.
Yeah.
And then she had her own little crew with her. And they would go and pretty much go to pullover and try and rob from like nobles or whoever they could rob from.
Vi did that because she was trying to learn how to be like Vander.
Plus, they wanted to get food for everyone.
Yeah, they wanted to get food for everyone by basically stealing stuff and then pawning it off in order to feed everybody.
Which I get because they don't have anything. So, unfortunately, though, they break into Jace's lab, I believe it is, and they steal some of the gems. Well, Powder
Steals some of the gems,
but she drops one of them.
And it go boom.
And it goes boom.
And that gets him in some deep water.
This literally starts most of Jace's plot and the other plot because Jace ends up getting kicked out of the academy.
Now, here's a better question.
Exiled.
No, here's a better question. You are in Piltover City. If you have the grace to lock your balcony door, why don't you have an alarm system for when somebody drop kicks it in?
Because Jace wasn't thinking. Because I think because they're in Piltover, he's thinking he's safe. You know, they got the enforcers. He probably he probably thought nobody was ever going to break into his lab.
I got too many trust issues.
Yeah, so do I. But no, like, so, you know, basically Powder still has these gemstones. Now, what I didn't understand about that is, what did she tell them early on? Oh, by the way, I found these because, you know, when they were on their way back to, you know, their clubhouse hideout where they live, basically, they get mugged in the alley. And
they're doing good, but Powder gets
chased by a guy. So she ends up throwing everything they got loot-wise into the water. And that's why they started calling her Jinx. They started calling her Jinx because every time she would go out with them, something bad would happen or something would go wrong.
Milo was the one who kept doing that.
Milo was doing it, yeah. And so, you know, they go back to their clubhouse or whatever. And, you know, of course, Vi can't be completely upset because it's her little sister. So she has to protect her little sister, even though in her mind she's thinking, damn, you know, did it again. But what I don't understand is why Powder didn't say, but I got these crystals and maybe they're worth something. Like, she never came out and said anything about it at first, which is interesting to me. I know we had to move the plot forward, but I was questioning why she never said anything.
I think it's because since she's a little girl and, you know, she consistently sees her quote unquote older brothers and her older sister being upset because, you know, she tries to help and she ends up doing it wrong every time. She keeps beating herself up and that makes her not kind of remember the Powder is Jinx in the main game.
Yeah.
Powder
did they ever call her Powder in League of Legends? So
nope.
This is probably just made up.
This was all hidden.
Arcane.
Everything was hidden.
Well, to be fair, what I've read is that a lot of the backstory for some of the characters in League, they haven't even had in League. So a lot of people are getting Vi and Jinx actual backstory now in Arcane.
There's also comics. So, they do have like side comics.
Yeah, but they don't for a while, they didn't even, people kind of suspected that Jinx and Vi were sisters, especially since what would Jinx write?
You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister.
Yeah, that's what she would write and stuff. But she never came out and said Vi. And now then they confirmed it. And now we have confirmation in Arcane that they are sisters. So, I mean, this is all prequel stuff that League of Legends never did because they didn't have to because it was a game.
No, I keep telling you this. I'm going to tell you it again. League of Legends, the game is just a launching pad for their music and animation industry career.
I'm done with you.
Riot Music.
So anyway.
Here 2021.
So yeah, long story short on that, they basically get into trouble because they broke into the wrong space. The enforcers are coming for them. At the same time, Vander's younger brother, Silco, basically takes Vander.
Yep.
And for me, I feel like he was going to experiment on him or inject him with I call it the purple goo. It's shimmer, but I call it the purple goo of strength.
You mean the church Kool-Aid.
The church Kool-Aid. Yes, he was trying to give him the church Kool-Aid. But of course, Vi and her crew, like Milo and them, are going to go and save Vander. And Vi specifically tells Powder, "Keep your butt here. I don't want you to be in danger. You are all I have left. Stay home." And I think what Powder heard was, I have crystal, so I'm going to go help.
The problem was, since Powder has such a strong attachment to her sister, and she has obviously mental trauma that was just never resolved as she was growing up.
Yeah.
All she hears is, you need to stay here because you're not going to be able to help. And you can even see she has a breakdown.
She does have a breakdown.
During I think episode 2. And like that breakdown leads to her going to find Echo, which that's probably why Echo feels partially responsible. Echo's like, oh yeah, I saw him heading this way.
Yeah, he probably blames himself.
He came to regret that, but
Echo is a cool character.
Echo is still a character.
Pretty badass.
He's still alive, man.
So, but then by her going there, she always makes these gadgets, right?
But they almost
never work. And she decides to take one of the gemstones and put it in the little monkey with the clapping, symbols. And unfortunately,
it does work.
It works a little too well. It actually kills or impales. I think it impaled Milo.
It impales Milo. It instantly kills Clogger because he gets a shrapnel piece that just headshots him. He's gone.
Yep. The whole ceiling crashes down and pins down Vi and Vander. And to save Vi, Vander actually injects himself with the special Kool-Aid mix.
Also, don't forget, it also disintegrated Savika's arm.
Yeah.
That's why she has the killer arm now.
Yeah. So, she was pushing Silco out of the way.
And her arm just went,
goodbye. And I'm like, that's dedication. I would not have done that. But anyway, he just would have been a SOL. but like to save Vi, because Silco was going to kill, but actually no, one of the guys that also got the church Kool-Aid
was the kid that one of the kids that they fought. His name was
from the alleyway.
He starts with a D. His name wasn't important.
It's not important.
He wasn't important.
He ends up, coming to kill Vi, and then Vander basically beefs himself up and then, protects Vi by destroying this dude. And
snaps his neck like a chicken wishbone.
Nothing. And was going to go after Silco, but then he went to go save Vi because the building was going to collapse and explode. And I mean, of course, and then you have, what's so interesting to me, it knocked Powder down. And then she runs up to her sister and she's like, did you see what I did? It worked. And she's like, and Vi's like, you did this? You killed everybody. What the hell is wrong with you? I told you to stay home. So she's like, she gets mad.
She clocks her in the jaw.
Yeah, and she hits her. And then she goes and hides behind like this little wall to calm down. But then she sees Silco over there getting ready to get her sister. So she goes back. But then Marcus,
the douchebag of the year.
Yep, who's on the payroll for Silco, basically chloroforms her and throws her into prison.
Hey, does this smell like chloroform to you? And then she was gone for the next 10 years.
And then she was gone for 10 years. Was it Stillwater, I think?
Stillwater prison. Yeah.
And basically, she had to learn to fight even more. She was abused. She was starved out. I mean, it's horrible 10 years for her. But I will tell you.
Damn, she looked good.
She looked good for being starved. I mean, she came out with muscles. It wasn't like if you look at Flashpoint in the comics where you see Superman who's never seen the sun and his muscles are all, nimble and messed up. She had muscles. That girl came out swinging, and I'm like, you did all that with like what, half an ounce of broth? I'm like, chicken broth. I'm like, I don't know, but she, she's a scrapper. So then we're in the future. So it's 10 years later. At this point, I don't know how old she is. I want to say she's like, if she was 16, wouldn't she be like 26? Okay, so she's 26. And Vi gives me Legend of Korra feels in a way. She's definitely got Korra, energy, where Korra just throws herself into shit and doesn't think, just like, I'm just gonna fight.
Well, the thing is that Vi was always a brawler. She was always a big brawler because she idolized Vander.
Yeah.
So she was all
she
about
always wanted to be like that. But she also had issues that Vander does. What I didn't mention is Vander made a deal with the enforcers.
Yeah.
Where they left them alone, and then they they pretty much had like this give and take situation. Which Vi, when she found out, was pissed because Vi wanted to fight against, everybody in Pulo. She's like, let's just fight everybody because they treat us like we are crap, or like she told Caitlyn, oil and water. So she wanted to fight and have another revolution, and Vander's like, no, we tried this. Down. We lost all of these people. I'm trying to keep us safe. So yeah, he made a deal with the enforcers, and when she found out, she was very upset. So they weren't even on the best of terms when that happened, which is seriously, and he died.
He was still dead.
Yeah, that was her dad. Yeah, but she definitely has some Korra-esque, Legend of Korra properties about her. But Vi, I love Vi's character as a whole, because Vi does not, I feel like she's not scared of anything. She has regrets. She feels bad about her sister.
She's terrified about one thing.
What?
She is terrified about the fact that as far as she can see, it is her fault that her little sister's like,
yeah, when it comes
that
to
is
her
the thing that
sister, she's terrified. Well, it's more of
and
also
plus
guilt.
Also her sister's actions, because of the episode where she thought for like when Jinx says, "Oh, by the way, I paid your girlfriend a visit. I made her a nice dessert," and she's like,
she said, I saw your girlfriend this morning. She said, what did you do? She said, I gave her, I made her a snack. I made her a snack with like this
silver platter tray,
and then
she pops it open. It's a cupcake, cake with the hex crystal. I was like, come
but
on,
no,
I'm not that crazy.
Vi's reaction to that, you saw her seeing Caitlyn laying on the bed looking at her, and then she turned around and couldn't look at it, and she's like, damn, not that crazy. I was like, you sure? But no, like Vi, like I said, I love Vi as a character. I think she's the enforcer, which is kind of funny because you said one of her movies is called Enforcer.
No, so her title for League of Legends is the Piltover Enforcer.
Okay, so that's interesting that she has so much beef with the enforcers and becomes the actual enforcer. But
that's probably gonna be explained in season 2. Plus, like even present day in the game, they're still chasing after Jinx.
I mean, yeah, because you can't cast Jinx. But we'll get to that. So she meets Caitlyn because Caitlyn gets her out of jail because Caitlyn is like, I think some shit's going on. Now, what I've read of her profile, again, I've never played the game. She's not only a really badass marksman, she's also pretty much. Well, no, in this, she's the damsel in distress.
She is the damsel in distress.
In the damn game, though, she actually is very strategic. She's brilliant when it comes to strategy.
Yeah, she is. So that's also like a few more years.
But let's talk about why Vi calls her Cupcake. Now, I know why she calls her Cupcake in the show. She's like, you're sweet, like a cupcake. Why does she call her Cupcake in the game?
So in the game, for those of you who don't know, Vi is called a marksman. She is Caitlyn's a marksman. She is a ranged fighter. She uses her Hex Tech rifle in order to shoot her enemies and do things. All champions have typically 4 abilities. So one of her abilities is called the Yordle Snap Trap. The origin of the nickname Cupcake comes from a jab that the creators and developers took at Caitlyn because they made her Yordle Snap Trap ability a bear trap with a cupcake on it that she throws at the ground, and if you just happen to step on it, you get stuck, you get revealed, and she can shoot you from like halfway across the map. And that's why they call her Cupcake, because they made the dumbest traps in the world.
But in Arcane, Vi gave her the nickname Cupcake because she was flirting with her. That's why.
I mean, let's also consider the fact that she took Caitlyn over to a brothel and said, "So, man or woman?"
No, she's like, you got to use what you have to get the information from people. And she's like, well, and Caitlyn's like, what do I have? And she's like, you're hot, Cupcake. And I'm like, there's no way that the queer radar vibes I was getting, because I call them queer dar, not gaydar, queer dar, because it encompasses everybody. And there's no way, nobody can tell me that Vi and Caitlyn in Arcane are not a thing, are not into each other, because there's just too much. There's too much. It's so funny. Like, I read a review on just their relationship, and like somebody was like, they're just really good friends, and I'm like,
historians,
no.
Historians will say that they were very good friends.
Yeah, and historians lied, because there's no way in hell that Caitlyn and Vi are friends. I mean, if anything, Riot just made them just as valid as Leona and Diana.
They are actually canon.
Yeah, they're canon.
Yeah. And there's also, this one's weird, but it is a thing. There's a champion named Varus. This is slightly off topic. He's a Darkin. And in order for him to form, he actually is a body composed of the fusion of 2 gay men. And all 3 of them are having a really grand time as the 2 gay men inside of him are fighting for the right to have their bodies back. It's like, dude, you burned up our village, slaughtered our people, destroyed everything we have, and we can't even have our own bodies. What's wrong with you?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
I will say a walking gay icon.
I will say this, Riot Games, you've definitely come a long way, and definitely have surpassed Disney, who right now, thanks to one of my ATM viewers, has let me know that the Owlhouse, specifically Lumity, is being censored to the point where they're erasing Amity from scenes.
Wow.
Yep. Anytime they look like they're going to hug or hold hands, they just erase her from the scene. So it looks like Luce is talking to herself.
Is it? No, okay. Is it going to be as bad? Is it going to be as bad as the 4chan censoring with the Yu-Gi-Oh finger guns? That's the most important thing.
Well, I mean, it's up there with Sailor Uranus and Sailor Neptune and Cloverway being cousins, but not changing any of the dialogue, which made it completely incestual. But yeah, It's about that level.
Incest is better than.
I wonder if they're gonna do this with Arcane. If they're gonna erase Caitlyn's on the bed. If they, I mean, you don't know. I know Disney. Disney's doing it. So the reason I'm saying
kills people, so I don't think they're gonna do it. I think
the reason I'm saying Riot Games is doing a little bit better than Disney is Disney wants those international bucks, so they are caving to all of this homophobia, but that they still have the sense and presence of mind to have pride events and celebrate Pride Month.
They have Nika, who is confirmed a lesbian in League of Legends.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they actually have a confirmed lesbian. Well, 3.
They have two.
They have Leah and Diana, and then they have Nika, who is a Vestalian. She is a chameleon Vestalian, so she can transform into other people and other stuff. And she is a lesbian. She is a super lesbian. She's a rainbow lesbian.
She's a rainbow gold star.
You haven't seen her. She's a chameleon. She can literally go rainbows.
Well,
and a lot of her lines are just like, when Nico see Evelyn, Nico gets intrigued.
Oh, wow.
Nico likes birds. And she's referring to a lot of other champions who have like bird traits and bird qualities. Or in one case, Nidalee or Evelyn, she said she's got a really big thing for Evelyn.
Well, I will say, I don't know if they did that with Vi, though, and Caitlyn in the game. I think they haven't made them official in the game. But I kind of feel like they're doing that in this. Wow. And yes, they are erasing Amity. I will link the YouTube video where they talk about it in the description after the stream.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Finger guns, just look up 4Kids Yu-Gi-Oh! Censoring and you'll find it. They erased every single gun option that was in Yu-Gi-Oh!'s original seasons. So in other words, if you see somebody with and they even did it with more recent ones too. So if you see somebody holding up a gun, you're supposed to be seeing someone with a gun like this. Instead, you see this.
Yeah.
Just the fingers. I got her held hostage. You sure do, buddy.
That's so sad. That's so stupid. Like I said, I'm done with people. Now, Heimerdinger is cool. I like him.
Heimerdinger.
Heimerdinger. Thank you. I like Heimerdinger better.
You sure you still want Humdingers?
That might be what's happening.
So
I call him the furry city founder who wants to be a Moogle. I love that he is now connected with Echo because my daughter told me what's going to happen with Echo. I don't really want to say it in here, even though it's if you play the game, you already know what's going to happen.
We've already
with Echo.
spoiled like half of it for them at this point.
Okay,
not much further.
Plug your ears.
Spoiler alert!
Okay, what happens with Echo?
So Echo, he's able to recover part of the Hextech crystal that gets exploded, and he actually utilizes it to create a device known as the Z Drive, which is capable of turning time back a few seconds. His goal is that he's trying to create a device that will be able to turn back time back to before all of this tragedy started, so he can try and save his friends from all of the bad things that are going to happen.
But there is a cinematic video you can look up on YouTube. Just put Echo cinematic
seconds trailer.
Yep, and it shows how he utilizes it in fights. How he keeps restarting the fight. It's actually very cool.
So when he restarts a fight and all that stuff, the body is back to normal. Like there's no injuries, nothing. But the ghost pains, like his brain still.
Like if he gets his arm ripped off, he will still feel like he has his arm ripped off, even though he still has his arm. So
and
that's
he'll
the
recover
one
from
downside.
it, but psychologically, it is still there.
Yeah. So that's problematic. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very cool. So I think that Heimerdinger
yes,
is going to be the one who helps him with this because Echo and his undergrounds, that's what I call them. I have my own names for people.
Firelights.
The Firelights and the underground, they have this cool little society there, a town or city they built up around this cool tree. And it's very cool. And they've been able to, make their own tech and survive all this time on their own, which is cool because if you look at Echo when he was little, he's very resourceful. He's always been brilliant, but he was always hiding behind Vi. So, he looked up to Vi because Vi could protect him. And now he's actually able to take on Vi in a way. And that fight between Echo and Jinx, if you watch nothing else, get on YouTube and put in Echo versus Jinx. That fight, my Lord.
The worst part is, it's so sad. He has a thing for Jinx.
He has a crush on her.
Even in game, he says, I had a crush on you until you started talking about guns.
Yep. And he
wants to bring Powder back.
And you can see, even though he was saying in this season, he was saying that she's gone. She's not Powder anymore. When he fought her and he beat the hell out of her. Let's be clear. He beat the hell out of her.
We here yearn for true gender equality.
He beat her
punched her like she was a man.
He's like, this is my pillow fight here, B. But he had her on the ground, and then right before he could just finish her off, he looked at her in the eyes and he saw the fear and he saw powder for a second and he couldn't do it.
And that's why she went,
And
I dropped my flame chompers.
Yep. And so she, everything went boom, and then he ended up hurting his leg, and that's when Heimerdinger found him and was able to.
And she got found by Silco, and that's
hideout.
what starts with her passive in game.
Now she already had crazy PTSD before that. Like when she realized, did she ever realize that she killed Milo and them? Because then she would see them. There are scenes where you see them around her, and she's always talking.
She knows what she did.
So she's already got issues from that, and then what happens after that?
She gets experimented on by
Singe.
And they put Shimmer inside of her system to heal her because she is catastrophically injured from the explosion.
Like she's dying.
Now, this is what creates her passive that she has in game, which is get excited. So as you've understood, Jinx has a kind of a personality disorder. Very obvious.
She's got dependent issues too.
Yeah.
She's very dependent on her sister.
Now, in game, the way this reads, get excited will proc whenever she has a successful takedown on an enemy champion or she destroys a building. The way this is translated into is she gets faster movement speed, so she runs really, really fast, and then she starts shooting everything even faster, and it can stack. So the more she blows up and destroys, the faster and stronger she gets.
Yeah.
Now this goes.
I've seen videos of her doing it in game, and it's crazy.
But now when you finally translate this now into seeing how she was made, this is not just natural adrenaline rush like people thought. This is a combination of chemical triggering in her body on top of her own
and of course the guy was using scalpel to put it in. He was cutting her and then putting the shimmer in the wounds, which is why when he did it,
her eyes turned pink.
And not only that, he had to sedate Silco because Silco honestly has adopted Jinx as a daughter. I actually loved her as a daughter.
Yeah.
And, she could get away with anything. Like, if you look at Silco as a character, he has no conscience about killing anybody except for Jinx. He would never hurt her. So that's his girl. He even trusts her to inject a needle into his eye because his eye gets infected.
Yep.
And she, like, nobody else can do that. Only he does it, and Jinx does it. So the reason that I'm bringing that up is that there comes a time like near the end where Jace and Silco, they make this agreement. He's like, you know what? I will let you, be independent. We'll let you have access to all of this stuff, blah, blah, blah. All you have to do is you have to give me Jinx.
And Silco was like, no.
And he wasn't going to do it. He actually started drinking and went and sat at on the statue. He was talking to Vander, his dead brother, so he thinks. And we'll talk about that in a second. And he's like, I finally understand the downfall is your daughter, basically, because that was Xander's, Vi was his downfall. And now the same thing is happening with Jinx. And Silco, he gets it now. He's like, you would literally give up everything for your kid. But Jinx was there. And in her mind, she's like, oh, this mofo is going to trade me in as a war criminal so I can be terminated. And so now I'm just going to stop him first. And so
that's not exactly what happened for it.
No, in the actual series, she's standing behind the statue and she hears it. And that's why she takes him hostage and has him at the table. And when she kills him, he even says, I would have never traded you for anything.
And the worst part is, now this is the dichotomy between Vi and him. When she screws up with Vi yells at her and says, you really are a Jinx, and leaves her as far as she cares. But when Vander gets shot by her and Jinx, she snaps, she's like, oh my God, no. And, she realizes what she's done. Instead of being mad at her like Vi was, he comforts her and says,
she's perfect.
You're perfect.
Yeah.
And that's, I believe that right there, that was the breaking point. You can even see where she just clicks off.
She even says it. She said it. She tells Vi, I thought you could love me like this, And then all of a sudden it was like, now I'm just going to take this little wonderful gemstone, put it in my magical gun, and fire it at the council room and kill everybody in it, including Caitlin's mom.
Her ultimate in-game Super Mega Death Rocket.
Yep. Now let's talk about Jinx and her unnatural obsession with her sister.
Let's also talk about real quick this comment from Nicholas Kelly. Because it's basically like a portable danger room simulation, but the price is everlasting trauma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But now, like, she has such a natural attachment and obsession with Vi.
Unfortunately, it's you can kind of see why.
You can, but at the same time, like, she would see stuff that wasn't happening. Like, yes, Vi and Caitlyn were getting really close. You could tell that Vi was into Caitlyn. Caitlyn is obviously into Vi. But whenever Jinx would see her, like there's a scene where Vi says, I can't leave my sister again, because they're going to take the gemstone to the city, to the councilman, to try and convince them to do something about the Silco crap and all that. And Vi's like, I can't go. I can't leave her behind again. So her and Caitlyn hug each other, and it's like a goodbye hug. And Jinx is sitting up here saying, like, literally, you see like this part of her is like telling her, what's going on down there? See, she's not here for you, blah, blah, blah. And it's
the way
like,
the episode actually goes out is that the reunion would have been fine because she still had Vi's flair for all that time. They have the reunion. They're doing okay. Problem, Caitlyn moses her way in, and Jinx like, who the hell is this?
yeah.
And that's where she snaps because Jinx got trust issues, let's be honest.
She's like, yo, you can leave me, but
like,
you're just girl.
No, her logic was, you're here to arrest me. And she can't be.
Well, I think she's also jealous of her relationship with Caitlyn throughout the whole thing, because that's why she kidnaps her. Because she's like, when you see her, she's looking at her face like, you literally abandoned me. But yet I tell you to kill Caitlyn at the table and you can't do it. So you can't do anything to hurt her, but I'm your sister, and you didn't do anything to help me.
She tries to give her ultimatum.
So,
we can be sisters again.
I can be Powder again. You just got to kill her. And Vi's like, I can't. And she's like, okay. And he was like, I'll do it. Like, she wants rid of Caitlyn.
No, let's talk about horror movie mode of how she even got Caitlyn. No, let's also talk about like how courteous she was. First off, let's talk about the level of planning you have to have while she's in the shower. Before she got in the shower, you had to preemptively draw out the graffiti on the mirror so that way it would show up in the steam. First off, that's some horror movie stuff right there. Second off, you hide in the darkest corner of the room where nothing can see you till you open your bright pink eyes. Third off, you had the courtesy to let her get dressed before you came out.
Yeah, she let her get dressed because she was in the towel.
Oh yeah,
she let her put her clothes on.
Go ahead and get dressed.
I was like, wow. Well, I hope somebody bandaged her leg too, because
Vi's new
Vi was in. Well, no, so Caitlyn was in the shower and her leg was bleeding, and she hadn't had a chance to change that bandage. So I'm hoping that she like changed the bandage too. I'm gonna bandage you up, put your clothes on, take you somewhere, and kill you.
Jinx is a whole other level of something else, but we love her anyways. I'm pretty sure everyone, right? We all love her.
We all love Jinx.
We just wish that she hadn't had such a bad time.
She's really out of her mind. And I will tell you, Ella Purnell is Jinx. I love the voice. It's so appropriately creepy, but still young enough where you feel like, the facial expressions too that they did for Jinx's face, like the scene
they did amazing
where Caitlyn like gets free during the table scene and she basically has her gun on her.
Yeah.
And you see, she's got her hands up and she's doing like this, like a wimpy, like, no. And she's got those big eyes. And then of course, Vi's like, don't kill her, Caitlyn. It's my sister. And I'm like, oh Lord. Here we go. And then all you see was a shim, shim, shim. and then literally Vi tells Caitlyn to watch out. But I'm like, how can you watch out when this bitch is like right here? Like she hit her with the damn gun.
Knocked her out.
Knocked her completely the hell out. But what I think is going to happen is there's a lot going on because Caitlyn was having sympathy because of Vi, and that's her sister.
Yeah.
Which is why she didn't shoot her outright. She told her to drop the gun. She could have just shot her.
Yep.
But now, since Jinx at the end of the season shot at the council room, and her mother, Caitlyn's mother, is in there. I think her father might be too, but I know her mother.
I don't know about the father, but I can confirm to you that the mother is alive. For one
way in the game, as long as
continuity.
But as long as they keep the continuity of the game, then she should survive. But that right there, just realizing that she shot her mom. You saw Caitlyn screaming and like Vi is holding her up. And Vi has the one glove because the other glove is damaged, which got damaged in her fight with who?
Oh,
and on cue, she missed it.
I'm sorry.
Who was she fighting, babe?
She was fighting the Chemtech dudes, and
the one who lost her arm.
Oh, Savika. I can't remember Savika half the time.
So she not only has one working, like I like calling them gauntlets, but no, it's not.
They're gauntlets. They actually are. They're hex gauntlets.
But so that there, I think, is going to start. Now we have this crazy thing going on now between Caitlyn, Vi, and Jinx. You have Vi wanting to say Powder, but wanting to stop Jinx. You have Caitlyn not wanting to kill Jinx because she's into Vi. But then now you also got Caitlyn who wants to kill Jinx because she might have killed her mom. and she doesn't know if her mom's alive. So like it's a big circle of shit, and I'm so excited for season 2.
Truly, the saddest part is like I feel like this all could have been avoided if somebody had sat that girl down early and just gone, "Hey, do you want to talk about your feelings?" This could have all been avoided with a little bit of therapy.
Could have been with therapy. But now, like, I think it's interesting too that when Jinx realized that technically Vi didn't leave her. She hid her and hid behind a corner for a while, but she didn't leave her. She was actually imprisoned because Silco was lying to her the whole time, telling her
she almost killed his ass.
She almost killed him for that. She's like, "You're a liar. You took everything from us." And so she started putting all that aggression towards Silco. But then when she killed Silco, it reversed. And she's like, "And I see now, Vi, that you don't love me like this. Huh. I'm just going to go blow everybody up." I'm like, oh, Lord.
Well, okay, this means, like, first off, this means she lost her dad 3 times. Also, can we just give a round of applause to Vi? Because instead of doing that whole protagonist crap where they don't explain why they were gone for 10 years, Vi straight up punch, I got kidnapped. I got drugged, kidnapped, and put in prison. I did not leave you.
For 10 years.
10 years.
10
I've been gone for a decade getting my ass whooped for some bread.
Yep. Let's look at some of the comments because I know we got a few of them. So let's
we got plenty. Also, they're having quite a few comments about how you could mini me.
You are a mini me. That's what happens when you have a kid that comes out of you. I did that. I put in that order. I never got into LOL. I dabbled a bit in Caitlyn and Flora, but
Fiora.
It's Fiora. Is that Fiora?
Yeah, Fiora.
Okay, thank you. I'm old, but it's never really hooked me. It's interesting that LOL is moving to projects like Arcane.
I tell you, the game was just a launch pad for the animation and music industry.
I think everybody says that.
That's it.
I've always wanted to try Vi out, though. I'm a big sucker for big gauntlets versus fight weapons.
The fun part is during the fight where where Vi and Jace are fighting against the Chemtech thugs, they actually showcase her entire moveset in the game and the animation. Her moveset is all named after typical criminal offenses or things related to law. So her passive is a blast shield, which you haven't seen yet. She gets that later on. Then there's Vault Breaker, which was that superpower punch she did. Denting blows. Every time she attacks somebody, she reduces their armor down a bit more. And every third hit, it punctures through the defense and she starts doing true damage to them. So it kind of ignores part of their defenses. Her third ability is Excessive Force. So in the fight, if you saw where the guns kind of revved up and turned red and a meter hit the tip, that's Excessive Force. She punches so hard that the concussive force from the Hextech gauntlets actually causes the damage to pass through the target, hits them, and then hits people behind them. And then
that's actually really cool.
And the last one she hasn't shown yet, it's Cease and Desist. She targets a person and goes, "You!" Dashes through everyone, slaps anyone in the way, out the way, grabs the person, chokeholds them, shoryukens them, and then body slams them back to the ground. Can't wait till you see that one.
Yeah, that's a thing. That is a thing.
Yeah, and then with Jace, it also showcased some of his abilities, like, for example, his hammer being able to turn into a gun for him.
I actually like that, though. Although I feel like that's a really heavy weapon.
The Mercury hammer and his family is hammer makers, so
that's true. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mercury can. That's why he can handle it so well.
That tracks.
Yeah. So he actually does that in game. He is a transformation champion where he doesn't have a quote unquote ultimate. His quote unquote ultimate is that he can turn his hammer from big hammer, go boom, to shooty hammer, go sting.
You know why I like Vi so much?
Because of violence?
No, because so guys, this is a spoiler. You're only getting this in here. You've probably seen this picture before.
You're showing them.
I'm doing a motion comic that's called WOS Warriors of Sarah, and one of my characters' name, she's actually half Nigerian, half Korean. Her name is Jae Kong, and this is her, and she is almost 100% Vi. Like,
you did this.
100% Vi. She literally can turn into a blood wolf. But she is a scrapper, a fighter, good with a sword, good with her fists, and has 100% Vi's energy and attitude. And that's before I even saw Arcane.
Also, hello to the people who came in recently.
Yep.
Hi.
So yeah, I think that's probably another reason why I like Vi. So let me go to the next.
Did you start the share or no?
I did.
Okay.
So let's see. Was never that big into League of Legends either, but I'm a sucker, intense lore, and high tech multi-use weapons. I love steampunk. If you know anything about me, one of my favorite genres in Japanese culture is takusatsu, and I love when they take shows to a new level, like Garo. If you want to see some steampunk magic fused tech, watch anything Garo, and you will love it. Now I've been watching Garo since 2006. So I can't. There's like really nothing you can't. I don't know about it. But
if the show Future Piltover, there's also going to be that, because one of my favorite characters that I love to play, I'm waiting for them to release her, and I'm hoping I get to see her alive before she becomes a robot.
I mean, I like anything with robots too. I mean, I'm a mecha girl.
Yeah, so. No, and there's also
this series plays to a lot of the things that I like.
I told you you would like League of Legends.
I didn't say I like League of Legends. I said I like.
You like the League of Legends universe. I told you would like it.
I like the universe. I just don't want to play the game.
You still liked it. I won.
So the reason I can't play League of Legends, guys, is because I don't do well with trolls, and I will set them on fire. I can't. Let me enjoy my game without you talking shit to me. That's how I am.
Darling, that's what the mute button's for.
So I know very little about Arcane, and I thought the show was pretty much a brilliant advertisement for the game. The world building on the show was amazing. Oh my gosh, it is amazing.
It is beautiful. It is amazing.
The animation was amazing. I will think it was really cool that they had like a bunch of 3D and 2D mixed in together. So like you'd have like almost realistic facial expressions, and then you'd see like a little cartoon explosion of fire. It's really funny. Let's see. Mel has a similar description skill to Joe's game show. No, very organized and straight to the point. That's funny.
I mean, thank you very much for the
compliment. It's Mel. It says Mel.
Look underneath. Well, right there. Go. One that.
Oh, you said my? Oh. Sorry, my. Because Mel's a character. I got confused.
I know Mel, but however, we weren't even talking that much about Mel.
I'm sorry.
Yes, I have answered this question. Yes.
Meta messy because of
meta characters. Yes. You've got literal gods among men. There is a star dragon just vibing in the area like so. You got a man possessed by like the god version of Spartacus from like 300. There's a lot. Or Leonidas rather.
That's a really
pantheon. And also his dream is to become a baker.
Is it?
He is literally an embodiment of the sun god himself, essentially.
But he wants to be a baker.
And he wants
to go on to channels like the Food Network and he wants to be on Nailed It or Chopped It.
He even has a skin for it. Baker Pantheon.
Hey, I'm not gonna hate on your dreams. You
never hate on his dreams.
I feel like Mai has my personality and humor. Is this a 25 thing or is this being half millennial?
Let me answer that for you, Nicholas. This is what happens when you don't sleep enough.
She inherited that gene from me. You really should see how we talk to each other. I'm bringing mine back a lot because we really are a mess. We really are a mess. Jink is more Joker than Harley Quinn inspired to me. She is way more of a proactive leader and pretty dangerous and unpredictable. Jinx would
yes,
Harley
in a heartbeat. Yes,
she used her as a dish rag. It's like, oh no, Mr. J.
Because I want to point out something.
Could you see their voices together would be amazing.
No, the thing that's really important regarding Jinx is you need to consider this. So the text crystals. She stole Victor and Jace's notes. This is a girl who has not really had an upbringing in an academy style like them. Okay.
Though she did make inventions when she was little. They just never really worked.
But think about this. She took academy level hyper complicated notes and she managed to make something out of that.
This is true.
To most people, that would be some illiterate chicken scratch. She went, that makes sense.
I can't make my stuff work, but I can take this advanced blueprint and make it come to life. Why not?
Yep.
You mean Traumaverse that slides into Redemptionville?
I don't know about
I don't think the redemption's gonna happen with Jinx. I'm so sad. The sister just breaks my heart. Powder is so weak but lovable. Why keep bringing this kid to these situations?
That's the whole thing. Right? Even said it. Her name is Jinx because she is Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong for Jinx will go wrong. So the way she counteracted it was she stopped caring.
Yep. That's it. I remember when League of Legends started, especially with all the cinematic trailers they used to promote the game, especially been wanting to franchise to release more animation.
Oh, yeah.
That's what, everybody says that. Whenever they have a new music video or they have their
did you guys see the Pentakill concert? Oh, my God.
If you got it, flaunt it. Vi and Caitlyn were epic. We're giving epic power couple vibes. Yep, we need a few dates and a wedding.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you guys.
In my head canon.
I'm sorry to tell you guys they are not married as of present in League of Legends. My apologies.
But to be fair, they also were not said to be canon. And like since Riot did this, I mean, there's no way.
It's been ambiguous forever. There's been no mention of it.
Now there's a trailer for a game where you see them fighting. And
you play Ari. You're horrible.
And they're horrible. You said you play Ari. Caitlyn was my first character next to Ari. My friend brought her for me after I told him I liked ranged characters.
No. Go and expand thy knowledge. Learn how to play a little bit of everything. That's why I had
to. You stick with your Ari. Don't let haterade over here deter you from your long-range characters.
Ari's just
do you, Yido?
Listen,
do you?
Okay.
Solidarity.
I will do this. She's a good play, but her personality is horrible.
That's not Yido's fault. As long as look, you didn't give a crap about her personality. As long as she can hit a target. I also love her steampunk rifle. Yes. There you go.
Rifle good.
Vi and Caitlyn just vibing. Yep. There is not one situation in this. I mean, them holding hands in her bed, them touching each other's faces. I don't do that with my friends. I'm sorry. I do that with my spouse and my child, which is a whole other level of cray. Thank you. Appreciate it. Loving you every day. Oil and water, oil and water.
Too bad I came out you saw in the oil and the water.
Oh my God. I'm not even into the story, and I felt like the company was shipping Caitlyn and Vi pretty hard when they were introduced.
I'm pretty sure they want to make them lesbians. I'm thinking they're just.
I think they were trying to do that for a while, but they didn't know how to do it without being accused of by other fans.
Riot's also owned by a Chinese company that's not really gung ho about that as often.
Well, they messing up right now.
Well, okay, so
I'm just saying, look, if you are a Chinese company and you already established a lesbian couple and you have two gay men trapped in a man's body that helps him transform, I'm sorry, you got another, what's her name? What was her name? Nico, who is literally a canon lesbian. Then obviously you were doing something wrong with your homophobia. Homophobics do not put gay content in their content. They do what they're doing with the Owlhouse and they erase it. Or they do like Sailor Moon and they make it incestual because they're stupid. They don't do gay content when you're homophobic.
Probably has something to do with that lawsuit they got.
I mean, just saying. I agree.
If it wasn't for everything,
a couple. Yep.
There's just one thing wrong with it. What? He becomes almost like full machine by the end, by like current.
Hey! RoboCop still loved his wife.
No. Okay. He becomes pretty much full machine. He's going for glorious evolution. So his logic is, if I turn everyone into Hextech robots, nobody will be in pain.
Does your girlfriend play League of Legends?
I won't let her.
Okay, I don't blame you. How do I feel?
I won't let her.
Why do I feel and get Granny Goodness and Amanda Waller vibes from him? Because that's exactly who she is. If Amanda Waller could wield a sword and had muscles like that, man.
Low key, she's Granny Goodness with some John Wick in her.
I can see that. But I like the Amanda Waller reference. For the comic reference of Amanda Waller, I can see that.
Hey, the Victor and Jace ship is taking off. Everyone, go ship them out together. Maybe we can get season 2 to give it.
I mean, they're already working on it. You better hurry up. Is Powder a character in the main game?
Already,
yes. Powder is not her name, but yes. Korra, over Aang, yes. Korra. I actually am a big Korra fan, but I like Aang too. I like the entire Avatar universe. I'm not a hater. Where is Kalita when you need her? I'm certain that Vi would be absolutely. Yeah, so Kalita is from Motherland Fort Salem, and Kalita is pretty much what I feel Jinx would be if she was a witch. I'm like,
that's terrifying.
She is terrifying. That's a cool trap.
Yeah, yodel snap traps.
Cupcakes are always good, I guess. I said the same thing about.
Oh God, you're gonna hit me with that card captain Sakura reference? No, hold on. This person went old school. Is this a card captain Sakura reference?
I mean, it's true though. They've been.
No, absolutely. I know it's true.
Well, to be fair, in the '90s, for some reason, we queer people we didn't exist, so we just weren't allowed to be.
Toya and Yuki just had they were really good friends.
Really
did a lot
good
of stuff together. The Yu-Gi-Oh finger guns.
That's so sad. Oh wait, I already answered that. Yeah, I will make sure to put that in the description because that was somebody from our channel from ATN actually sent it to me on Instagram, and I was like, "What the hell?" So it's an entire YouTube video made about this, and it's pretty sad. And it's a Steven Universe treatment. Yep, all over again. Yep. That's why whenever Disney's like, oh, we love LGBT, especially during Pride Month, where we make millions of dollars off the merchandise.
And then it's gone
and
after that.
then they go in and then they'll purposely censor it for other countries. That shit pisses me off. It really does. You don't. You could stand up to them and be like, this is what we're doing, or you're just not getting it. But they don't.
They censored cigarettes in One Piece with lollipops?
Why not?
I mean, it's better than the invisible finger guns, but still.
Why not? I mean, look at all of the magical girl transformations. All of a sudden, nobody's anatomically correct. You don't even have boobs anymore. You become men. It's really weird.
Ore no Sama. Magical girl Ore.
That's a whole other conversation.
No, we're going to talk about the magical girl Ore. Someone pull a picture for them.
Nope. We're not.
You want to see a magical? You want to see a magical boy? We show you a magical boy.
Oh my lord.
Nicholas
said that's a nice ability because that's basically like a portable danger room. I think that. But we said the last one
Trauma Conga.
Vi is the new Batwoman. I wish. Oh my god, I would watch that show with a smile on my face every week.
Also, you would never have to worry about the bad guys again because Vi would just literally beat them all to the point of being crippled. They can't do anything if they're crippled.
Yeah, and you know what? I would even support Sophie with Vi, even though they made Sophie into a bat chaser. So say Caitlyn broke up with her, I'd be like, you know what?
Oh,
I support
you don't actually watch that. You don't want to watch the Yu-Gi-Oh finger guys. Yeah, no, you see, finally, we've got Kaiba held hostage. With your fingers? Because they would straight be like, nobody move. We've got a corner.
That's so sad.
It's just like, what are you going to do? Aggressively click the thumb at him?
Well, so what was it originally?
So originally, so they took out season 0 completely, and then season 1's thing. So they censored all guns by erasing the guns out of the scenes, okay? So that was the first censorship they did. It was horrible. So anytime there's somebody being thrown with a gun, you can see these men in FBI suits menacingly staring down at you while they're just pointing a finger like this.
The finger.
No, here's the thing where they mess up even more. In 4Kids version, nobody could die, okay? So they thought it was better to say, oh, they didn't die. They were sent to the Shadow Realm in order to be tortured for an infinitesimal amount of time.
So they're going to be infinitely tortured.
I would rather die than go through eternal suffering in the Shadow Realm. So it's like, well, Jimbo's going to the Shadow Realm. He's going to suffer forever, but he's going to be alive.
Oh, my Lord.
Like, oh, my God, 4Kids, you made it darker.
I remember watching that as a kid. I always thought it was weird that the guys pointed their fingers at Kaiba. Trust issues are strong in this one. In the words of Cardi B, be careful with me, Jinx. Yep. Jinx honestly gives me Neo vibes. I agree with that.
She doesn't Neo dodge.
I mean, I'm basically a miniature clone of my dad. I mean, hi. Oh, boy.
I sleep. I live here now.
She also the umbilical cord is strong with this one.
It's somewhere down here. Hold on, let me try and find it.
What's wrong with you? Everything. Well, that's what happens after she gets chloroformed and drugged off. Yep. Because now to be fair, Marcus, I think they were threatening his daughter the entire time, but then Silco really drove it home by going to his house when Vi escaped, or Caitlyn got her out and said, you need to take care of this problem or I'm going to take care of your kid. That's literally what he was saying.
Yep.
And so, yeah, Marcus was like, oh shit. Now I have no idea what's going to happen to the kid. I don't know if his wife's still alive or not. Like, that kid was by herself in the room with 3 guys. I mean, it's really, really weird. That's super cool that Vi's moveset is represented in the show. Yep, that one fight scene.
With Jace and Vi, it showcases both of their... the only thing you didn't get to see was Vi's ultimate specifically.
Yep. I need to get Vi next time I play. I'm scared to play Vito. I need therapy. I'm still trying to get over Guild Wars too. Like, I log in ever so often and then I'm like, nope. And then I'm back out.
Listen, if sometime you guys need to see Vi gameplay, I'm a horrible player, but I'll do it for you.
She has a gaming laptop. I got her a webcam. She has a capture card. She just needs to do it. She needs to make her own YouTube or Twitch channel and just play games.
So much effort.
She is a one. Where I am the person on this channel who loves anime, who loves Super Sentai, Tokusatsu. I love, sci-fi, anything comic books. My daughter is a gamer. So she got the gamer part, or the gamer gene.
I'm just telling you, speaking of when we're done with this, I'm going to go back and play Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Wait, what is it? She did a dime man like being baby boy. She looks a little like Xena. I forgot you could do that. And the word Cheshire is genetic. We love the ultraviolence in this house. I mean, hey, we gotta do something to pass time. I wish more of these games did more animations. Another game series I would love to have.
I love Don't Starve. They have so many. They do.
So you know what I think I said this before with Final Fantasy. You know what my all-time favorite game is? What is it?
It should be Final Fantasy 7, right?
And the Legend of
the Legend of
Dragoon.
Legend of Dragoon, because you've been praying to
I
God himself.
really want Legend of Dragoon to be made either in an animation series like this or into a new game.
Listen, everyone. If they do this, please, we need to have a petition to make it look like Rose is not crapping herself when she does that. Demon's Gate
I
again,
love
please.
it, Demon Gate. Really, she's taking a poop on the ground.
But that's not even what it's supposed to be. They censored
they
it in the worst
censored
way
it
possible.
out.
Because in the original animation, she takes her sword and stabs herself in the chest.
Yeah.
And her blood drips onto the ground. But they took out the stabbing part. So it
now
looks like
she's
just
taking a
shits
massive
herself.
shit on the ground. It's so funny.
Oh, God.
I love it. I like Demon's Gate. Sorry. That's how I became a voice actor. Because of pooping on the ground.
Hold the pumpkaboo and let it take away your sins.
Yay. All right. So is the character's name spelled as J or J? Jae is the Korean spelling, and her last name is Kong, Kang. So J Kong.
Yeah. Somehow.
Sweetheart, the mute button is a powerful thing.
Yes, it is. The mute button will get you through life. I every time I go into a game, I gave it like 3 minutes and I see how these people act. If they act a hot fool from the moment we go in, mute. Let's go.
I played Star Trek Fleet Command.
That was your fault.
And I got so angry. I literally, I think it was a level 2 and I was level 3. I literally destroyed their ships. I attacked their base and then I deleted my account. I was like, that was my card of F you. I'm like, I don't have to put up with this.
See, she's worried about trolls. This woman here is a terrorist.
I'm not.
Imagine you go and you attack someone. You're like, yeah, I'm doing well in this. Then you come back online and 2 hours later, you stop select, everything's gone, everything you worked for destroyed, and then you can't even get it back because they went delete account. Bing.
I mean, look, all I was doing was minding my own damn business. And you came because you wanted to get the spot that I was on, even though there were 4 empty ones next to me. You attack my ship? Yeah, you had to die. That's all there was to it.
I think she'd be a great League of Legends player because she'd be screaming her head off at half the people she fights.
I'd be like, no, they wouldn't want me. If you said look, I have almost 45 years of bagged aggression. If you set a troll on fire, please make it a live stream. I mean, why not?
That's the Chef God edition. Yep, that's Pantheon in a heartbeat.
That's awesome. If you set a troll on fire live stream so I can vibe with you in that moment, I'll set up a live stream with and we'll do it like it'll be like a reaction type situation. It'll be come watch with me. Alex Murphy was a special individual. All cannot be held to his standards. I mean. Granny Goodness always terrified me.
I still love JC's reaction when Ambessa just starts walking out stark ass naked from her back. He's like, nope. I only see that wrinkle. No, I only see those wrinkles. Nope. I only those
did not see. I never found the Furies to be intimidated with Granny Goodness, though. I mean, a lot of people are scared. When you have a grandma with any abilities or just a look, it's terrifying. Yeah, you and Maya basically how I act with my mom.
Well, I love you.
I love you too. Long time. Finger guns don't make sense at all. At least using a knife.
No, man. In the Yu-Gi-Oh universe,
you can't use a knife.
You can't use even a butter knife.
You can't even use a broom. Like you're trying to broom.
They wanted to censor that so hard. They physically had people eating like whole steaks and just like.
Look, you're trying to sweep the floor, and they think they airbrushed out the broom, so your hands are just doing that.
Let's twerk to get the rain. Just twerk to get the rain.
Oh my lord. Wait. I skipped one. You were sent to the Shadow Realm for eternity, like Jim, Randall, Bakura, and the Dino Boy from Yu-Gi-Oh.
You forgot that dude who held Taya hostage. You forgot everybody from season 0. Let's be honest.
True. I'm sorry, Weedle.
Oh,
Weevil.
Forget Weedle. He's a Weevil. Weevil's a jerk.
I've got a short temper. I wouldn't do well playing League of Legends intently. Yeah, see, that's okay. I'm very good at keeping my like I don't have anger aggression issues, but there are some moments in this world where you just cannot. Your mind tries to process stupidity and you can't. And so then that's when those are the tiny moments. Like in my real life, I don't get angry like that. She'll tell you I don't. I am not the aggressive one in this house. But I literally lose my shiz when you do something that's just so stupid that I can't make an excuse for it.
Now you see,
that's why I have angry grandma.
Like with playing League of Legends, it gave me a few things for when I grew up. I played it early. And
Not me. League of Legends gave her things.
No, you
from
gave
when
me
you grew up.
I'm telling you the life lessons I got from League of Legends. One, thick skin. I got thick skin from playing League of Legends because I started playing early. Okay, I started playing early, and that's probably my first mistake. But I started playing the game early, and I learned how to develop a thick skin and just stop caring about what people said because people will say the dumbest stuff. And that's one of the life lessons I got from that game. Just ignore the stupid.
Why did you get that from me?
Because, Mom, your job made you have to deal with stupid.
Yeah, but it's not like I can't give a crap on most of the stuff.
But you had to deal with it, so I couldn't just walk into your job and be like, all right, all of you shut up and take with my mom, and we're going to go get falafels or something.
We eat falafels?
There wasn't falafels?
I don't think we've had falafels. Interesting. We need to have some falafels. So first, me, it's half and half between comic shows and gaming.
I am a full-time gamer.
She is a full-time gamer. She has, there's not one time I'm looking and she has a mobile game on her phone. She has a game going on her Switch. She has something going on her laptop. If she could get to the PS4, she would. We don't have a PS5 yet, but if she could get it, she would. Actually, you have a job.
I'm still waiting for you to play your Final Fantasy VII.
I know. I haven't played the remake yet.
We got you the collector's edition.
I got collector's edition.
Come on. We've been waiting on you forever. But, yes, I understand your pain of being an insect glaive wielder and then somebody with a long sword or somebody with a hammer just yeets you 7,000 feet into the air and you can never land again.
They could always demon gate them. Lord, why did they censor it?
Because finger guns, children, finger guns.
Legend of Dragoon, I forgot that series exists. It is amazing. Oh my God, my PS2 love. I love it so much. I approve of Jacob.
Actually, I think Legend of Dragoon is PS1, which is even more impressive.
I thought it was PS2.
No, I think it's actually PS1.
Oh, it's the 4 disc.
Yeah, it was a 4 disc. It was a PS1 game. Yeah. And it looked really good for being PS1, though.
You're making me want to play it.
You have it on your emulator.
Maria was like, "You reap what you sow." Yep. Kaboom! Look, he should have. Look, that guy had 4 meteors he could have gone to, and mined for stuff. You came to me because you were trying to show me your wee, and I was not impressed. So all I did was chop it off.
In Power of the Dick Measuring Contest, my mother not only flexed hers to be bigger, she also said, "You don't even deserve me."
Look, I saw that my wee was so big, I don't even have one, and it's still bigger than yours. So one person's terrors, another person's therapy. Yep. Amen. For me, it's called game rage. This is actually a Pokemon plushie that my girlfriend got me. Is Pumpkaboo. This is actually the first Pokemon that I ever called my favorite. When we started playing games together, this was the first one I ever got. And my favorite one is down there.
Oh God! Oh God!
Don't fall out of the chair.
I'm gonna fall out of the chair. Oh God! Ow! Oh no, that hurt.
You're not 21 anymore, Mai.
I know. I'm 4 years past the bribe. My back.
This one's I like.
That is an Alolan Vulpix.
It's my Vulpix. I love my Vulpix.
I have a Mimikyu and I was going to bring it over, but it would have just kind of taken up most of the space.
I developed a thick skin because of Tumblr and fanfiction wars.
No! Why would you do that to yourself?
Why would you do that? Look, I used to go on MuggleNet back in the day, and I used to watch the intense fights between the Harry Potter and Hermione lovers and the Harry Potter and Ginny lovers, and it became this epic thing of people were calling out each other's ancestors. It was messed up. I was
fluff on your chin.
I know it's from
you got fluff from the
it's
fox.
It's because my fox.
You need to brush your fox out.
Leave my Vulpix alone.
No.
Young Justice has your girl Lady Shiva in a prominent role this season. I know people have been telling me that, and your girl's gonna be watching it. I'm just trying to get at least a Saturday or Sunday free.
You and I are gonna we have a spiritual connection of I would like to do my combo, followed by everyone shall not prevent me from doing my combo.
Yep.
I too understand the pains of being launched, made attempts. I don't do counters because there's no point to counters. Because if you're playing with 4 people, either you're going to get hit by them or the cat's going to blow you up. And then you still get messed up.
Yeah. Did you check out the Hit Monkey on Hulu? I saw the trailer. It looks really cool. I have not had a chance to watch it, though. But I have seen it on there. I have
Ralts is cute. I like Ralts. I just wish that the internet didn't do what it did to Gardevoir.
She's in her feelings.
If you try to look up Gardevoir on Google image search, you will have to put safe search on if you want to find pretty artwork at all.
Oh, NFSW. Wow.
Gardevoir is the female, or quote unquote, used to the female.
Why would you do that with a Pokemon?
Even though it could be male.
Okay, we're gonna leave that alone. Kamiho!
Boxer! Come here!
I think
okay, Dippo is
Ghibli
literally a
my
land shark.
favorite. It's a
Literally
big
is
shark
land
facing
shark.
with legs. Remember, I was young, innocent, and naive, but was caught in the crossfire, so I learned quickly in order to spare my sanity.
And yes. So for those of you who are out there, do not look up Gardevoir on Google image search without your safe search engine turned on. You will
Do not.
regret it.
Yeah, keep safe search
You will
on.
regret everything. Don't look up Pokemon.
Do
without
not
safe
regret
search on.
life.
Just
Also, if you don't want to see NSFW, do not look up Korosami with safe search off. Trust me on that.
in fact, don't take off your safe search.
Don't take it off.
Keep your safe search on.
Leave it on.
Leave it on forever.
So back to Arcane, because we got off a little bit.
Call of Taroth is beautiful, but don't look it up.
Arcane was such a refreshing change of pace in terms of animation. I'm not saying there are bad animations on Netflix. There are some that I wish were better, unique. But this one is not only is it unique, it flowed extremely well. There was not one point where I was not entertained, because there's some points I'm gonna be real with you. If I see something that has queer content in it, I'm always like, I need the queer content. Let's just fast forward till I see them again. I didn't have to do that with this show. This show was like so engaging on every level that I actually felt like all the characters had a story, and I was into it, which is pretty impressive for
also,
Riot's first attempt at an animated series.
There's also one thing I do want to point out for those of you who do play League of Legends, and those of you who might. Vander may not be dead. I just wanted to point out.
Oh yeah, let's talk about Vander,
because
we were going to talk
at the very end of the Arcane Season 2 announcement trailer, I'm sure some of you
have you guys seen
have any of you seen
announcement 2 trailer for Arcane Season 2? Because they just put it out.
Because if any of you did, I want you guys, if you have it, pull it up and go to like the last 10 seconds of that,
and just listen to it,
and just listen to that noise that you hear. And if you do, please comment in the chat.
So who do you think Vander is going to be?
He's Warwick.
She doesn't think, he is Warwick.
He's Warwick.
It's Warwick. Now, did they confirm that in League of Legends? Is that something that they say?
It's not confirmed, but here's the thing. There is no reason in the world why Warwick's passive hunt theme should be playing at the end of Season 2 unless Warwick's involved in it. And if you see at the end, right before Jinx fires that rocket, Singe is in his lab, and there is a furry, wolf-like anthropomorphic creature that's hung up just in view. Like you can see an arm.
Gotcha. Well, you thought that the creature, the pink creature, was Rio, his daughter, right?
There's a theory that it might be his daughter.
That gives me like Full Metal Alchemist Nina vibes.
That or Rio is the source of the shimmer.
That's wow. The source of the shimmer.
Think about it as a pink liquid that heals. What do axolotls do? They have regenerative capabilities.
See, you're learning some stuff. That might be the source of all of the shimmers.
Don't start.
Shimmer
waiting for the day that happens. Also, if you guys are not aware, Don't Starve Together in Terraria. Shameless advertisement here. They did have a crossover event where you can actually play a world scene in Terraria that is Don't Starve Together based, and boss monsters and items from Terraria got put into Don't Starve Together.
I love this. I keep praying for a Don't Starve animated project. Arcane gives me hope. How can you hate Wes after his character trailer? He's the hero.
Wes is literally the worst. He has the worst luck. He is a mime whose special ability is that he has horrible luck and he uses balloons.
So yeah, this is making me excited for my own project because I showed you my version of Vi. I also have my version of Caitlyn, and that is Emny. And she is a princess, and she is based off of Native American lore, but she has blue hair and she's hydrokinetic.
And someday you'll see my character, but that won't be in this season.
She is partnered. She is Jay's partner in the military. So they really are very close to how Vi and Caitlyn are. So it's interesting. You guys will see all this next year, guys. We have all of the characters developed except for 4. So we're getting there.
You're right. She is hooked on the stream.
Who is?
What you just said.
Volpig's expression is perfect for the stream. She looks at.
You gotta tell them what the names is for your plushie.
Oh, what we named them?
Yes, what you named?
This is Yuki.
And this is Avalon.
If you remember Japanese, Yuki is what? Snow.
Avalon actually comes from, if anybody knows the actual lore behind pumpkaboos, they're these tiny little pumpkins that go around and they put souls in their bodies and they try to guide them to the afterlife because souls are just kind of wandering around the earth. So they're like little guides to the afterworld. So Avalon.
Pokemon is so cute, but has such a dark, dark stories.
If you actually sat down for 5 seconds and listened,
I'm gonna have to have Mai do a Pokemon lore video one day because she's also an expert in Pokemon.
There are over 879 Pokemon in that game.
Let's be clear, she's also an an expert in mostly every game. Like she plays so many games. So many games.
Avalon is Artorian mythos based on the Garden of Avalon, which is where theoretically people go at the end of the world when Rungaminiad causes the end and all that stuff. So it makes sense to name Punkaboo after it because that's supposed to be the quote unquote paradisical afterlife. Somebody got it!
So guess what? She's just setting herself up to do a gaming chat stream on my channel. So if you guys want to see do a gaming chat stream on the channel, she will. She has no choice. She has no choice. Let me know in the comments below. She can say no. She knows what's going to happen.
No, don't do it. No.
So yeah, let her know if you want to have let's say
Drift
come talk video games with my
Driftblooms really be kidnapping kids too.
I mean, I'll have to kidnap you. You live here.
Well, time to go jump out the window.
Like just saying.
It is time for the Ancient One to return to
So we have about 5 minutes left of the stream because I have a 2:00 voiceover workshop.
And you need to eat lunch,
and
too.
I need to eat lunch. So got another 5 minutes. So overall, guys, we really love Arcane. We are waiting impatiently for season 2. Again, the season 2 trailer announcement, our teaser announcement, actually has a little mini conversation between Vi, Caitlyn, and it looks like Jinx.
It looks like they're separate voice lines that were just
hooked over. But yeah, I think they're just ones they put up. But I mean, it kind of gives you an indication about where we're going, and it's going to get darker. You can tell.
I'm just so glad it was you.
I'm just so glad. Yep. But like I said, I'm absolutely here for this. Hi Latin D. Yeah, I'm sorry. We
sorry.
You're gonna have to go and rewind and talk about all things Arcane. Sorry about that.
I mean, nice to meet you. Hi, I am the Ancient One who's about to go back to sleep.
So sad. Yeah, I don't know what I was drinking when I was pregnant, guys.
A 6-pack of Yoo-Hoos.
6-pack of Yoo-Hoos. So yeah, I really am again excited. And then, like I said, let's recap. So what we think is going to happen in season 2, and then what we know from season 1. So let's just combine what we know. Jinx has lost her ever-loving mind. Powder is not her real name. They made it up for Arcane.
No, Powder is her real name.
Did they say it in the game?
They always said that Jinx was not her real name.
So Powder is the name they assign her in Arcane.
I guess.
Okay, so
that's the closest we get to her.
That's what we're gonna get. So Warwick and Vander are the same. That's what we think. Yep. And Warwick will be in season 2 according to the teaser. Hunting down people. Do we think that Mel, Jace, Caitlyn's mother, and the rest of the council are dead?
Not. I know Kate's mother is not dead. I know that
because in the game she's still alive, and Jace is still alive. So then
Jace and Victor have to be alive because they're actual playable champions. Mel may be alive because you saw on the back. Now, this is just speculation. I don't know if they're actually going to pull this off because this would be some weird stuff.
There's something shiny golden on her back.
There was a golden thing on her back, which I think might be related to the Solari. That's a whole other story for another day. They're basically praise the sun. They are literally, you know how I told you there was a sun baker guy? They are the praise the sun, screw the moon.
So does it give her like a shield ability?
It might. It could.
So maybe she's able to shield
She might have some Solari stuff going on because that stuff looked a little bit too crisp and clean.
It did seem to enact and get brighter when the missile was coming to
Now
her.
It could just be dynamic lighting, mind you. But if they're gonna BS a way for her to live, that's gonna be it. Plus, one other thing. There is an upcoming support champion that has been announced in League of Legends, and the description that they have given does line up very well with Mel, and she is a Solari.
Okay, well then we'll see if Mel is Solari, maybe she's gonna save everybody. That would be cool. That would be some cool insight. And then also we need to see how Jason Victor, the bromance that will never be, how they fall out, because apparently in the game they are enemies. So we need to see what leads to that in season 2.
Latin G, I'm gonna help you out real quick. This is how I was gonna go. Jinx and Vi do not reconcile. Vi and Kate are debatably a thing in the game, but there's no reference towards it. The game itself is very convoluted because there's over 150 champions. Good luck trying to get that lore inbound. There are comics you can read. Jace and Victor used to be bromance, and now they don't like each other because their levels of progression went in different directions, and now they're having the worst breakup ever. And Heimerdinger is a fluffy yordle.
Who looks like he should be a Moogle in my mind.
Oh, and Echo's trying to break time. All right, figured it out. There you go.
And Echo is trying to break time. Yeah. But
resolved everything.
But as far as Vi and Caitlyn are concerned, because it's so popular on Netflix and because they put it in the animated series, all of these gay vibes and gay panic moments,
they might
more than likely they might actually become canon now in the game.
No problem, Lanji. I got you.
All right. So Vi and Caitlyn will definitely be together in season 2 because they're together at the end of season 1. So they're partners there, and they're partnered in the
They're
game.
partners in crime. We're gonna see how
So we're
going
gonna
to
see, because they never said in the game, according to the game descriptions for Vi, they never said why she joined the Enforcers. So now we're getting this. We're gonna see
Part
why.
of me is still thinking that she's joining the Enforcer because she's trying to bring.
She's
Vi
trying
down.
to. Well, she's trying to
Jinx
get
down.
Jinx back, but I think she's also going to join because of Caitlyn.
Right.
She's into Caitlyn. Yito said comics. Yes, there are League of Legends comics that they have released.
There are comics, and they're short stories that you can find online and actually read at their bios over at the official League of Legends wiki. They also do have some comics, though. They have made some specifically. I know they made some for Demacia under Lux, which that's a whole other lore story of tragedy, xenophilia, xenophobia, and like everything else.
I saw Lux in the trailer that you showed me too.
Lux is sad because she's like, I'm the noble woman that was born in a land of people who have
they don't like magic. They're
xenophobic against magic. Oh crap! I was born with magic.
Yep.
They execute people who have magic on site, or they send them off to an remote like tundra prison, like way off into the Freljord.
And she has to hide it. So
and she ends up that you will fight. Like, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but
don't spoil it. But there is it's actually really cool. Also, let's see. I'm trying to think of other breakdowns. I mean, besides Echo, of course. Echo's working with Heimdinger, so they more likely going to start messing around with his time device. So I think we may see more of that because now that Heimdinger is down there with him, I mean, Heimerdinger has the same.
Heimerdinger is old as hell, and he's very smart, and that's why he's terrified of magic because he knows the repercussions of people messing with it.
Yep, and so I think that he's literally going to aid Echo in advancing everything, and that's probably how he's.
That's how he's going to
because Echo's very smart too. So
Echo's a genius. The only thing that's been prohibiting him is that he lacked the stuff. That's it.
Yeah,
but now he hasn't, and that's why he's going to be known as the boy who shattered time. That's his actual title.
The boy who shattered time.
Yep. If you guys want to go ahead and look more into these characters, go to the League of Legends official channel on YouTube. They have character trailers for everyone.
You can look up League of Legends wiki online.
Or if you want to do like my personal favorite, just go look up Echo character trailer or Echo champion trailer. You will see that boy rocking it.
You will. So yeah, again, let me know when you want Mai to do her stream.
Jinx needs a hug. She needs antipsychotics, and she needs a plush toy so she can have something to talk.
She needs to play Pokemon Go.
She needs some Pokemon Go.
She's Pokemon Go.
Even though Malzahar's already.
Or she can just become obsessed with Animal Crossing.
I don't think she should do that because I'd be scared of what she would consider to be. Because she might turn the world into her Animal Cross.
I don't know. Sometimes I hit all the other islanders that try and follow me around.
Exactly. And
I hit them in the head with my
So you see, my mom's a sociopath when it comes to games.
I'm a video game sociopath. Because when they chase you, they want to teach you a new expression.
Because you're an emotionless, empty husk who doesn't know how to emote.
And I prefer to be an emotional husk. Leave me alone so I can just harvest my fruit, make my money, pay for my stuff, and go. Stop chasing me. Like, stop.
Mom,
don't chase me.
What kind of mentality are you in when you play this game when you reject free stuff?
I don't reject the free stuff.
You are rejecting free stuff.
No, to be clear, guys, when they have the pink sparkly stuff around, I know they want to teach me something. I don't want them to teach me anything. So I just hit them in the head with my net until they leave me alone.
So she's a psychotic individual. Go to TV Troops because it's really good. And please send a bunch of likes and comments and like get well soon for my mom because she is obviously sick and needs some help.
Yeah, that's probably true. Just don't follow me and try and teach me expressions.
TV Troops in general is addicting. I have spent way too many hours on TV Troops and I need to stop it, but I have about 3,700 hours on TV Troops.
3,700 hours?
3,700 hours.
Wow.
Just from randomly scrolling through stuff.
Oh, no. So before we end this stream, which we're ending in a second,
get well soon, Maria.
Thank you. I never deny free stuff. That's fine, Nicholas. And I'm not denying free stuff. I'm denying free facial expressions. And they can kiss my butt.
Oh my God. No, free is free. You can't be picky.
I made you smile. That's what's happening right there.
I'm happy.
That's what happens in this game. No, I can't do it.
Look at the smile.
Can't handle it emotionally. So, all right, guys, we love you. Thank you for joining us for our Arcane chat. We love the series. I'm glad that Mike could educate you on League of Legends because Maria could not.
It is time for the ancient one to return
And
to
the
her
ancient
slumber.
one is going back to sleep.
All right. Good night, everyone. See y'all in like, I don't know, a few weeks.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you.
Love you too.
This is what I deal with people.
I heard that. I'm out here.
Anyway, so yeah, I'll have some more videos up for you coming up today and tomorrow. I'm trying to get a video up today, but it might be tomorrow because YouTube has been very slow uploading. I don't know what's going on. So if I don't get the 18-hour thing, and I'm on a very fast internet connection that's basically hardwired, so it should not be having issues, but it is. So
and if you need another excuse, since I'm still here for a sec, hey guys, you're cool and all, but she's my mom. She's gonna hang out with me. Just deal with
well, I'm gonna hang out with her and River because I don't want to spend all of my time trying to fight YouTube's
and once
uploads.
I have like a 10 to 5 job. I don't get to see her often. So look, you guys are cool. But she's mine. All right?
Exactly. Anyway, make sure you put your comments on what you thought about Arcane down below because I want to know. And if you have any other questions that we did not talk about or answer, put it below and I'll have my answer it. Also, guys, if it is day for you, have a very good day. If it is evening for you, have a very good evening. And we'll see you in our next video and stream.